Yeah, and then I'm happy to pay for that. I went from the road. So, and then I have that, and then I get crazy if I actually get just the Oh yeah. So we can get it a lot.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a most of that's all my children.
I can stretch it as much as I have. We do a Zoom.
I need to figure out
I think that myself California, talking about lines and I'm drinking. I'm the host moderator for that, so.
Even if it's North Hall,
Around the
for the summer, I honestly like
most of them are like,
So you're gonna be warm, come back. So it's gonna be
we're about to get started.
Okay. That's fine.
from the starting of Miami.
No, there's all of us talking about
Like your biggest game.
so
It's been years of sadness.
whether that's we got like a location thing
All I'm saying is that the green season depends on the game.
Hello everyone. Welcome to October meeting. To get started today, we have Jeff Graves. Jeff is the owner of Vision Event Management. So we're very pleased to have him here with us to kind of talk a little bit about his company and what he does and some opportunities that he has for us. So I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to Jeff. And you can kind of talk a little bit about what you do.
awesome. Well, thank you guys. I think it's so cool that you guys even have this major because when I was in school, this wasn't even a thing. I stumbled into event management. So I think this is awesome. So Vision Event Management started this company 15 years ago. Was with the 500 Festival and produced the mini marathon, which at the time was the largest half marathon in the country. But I kind of bebopped all around after college trying to find what I really wanted to do. And I worked at a hotel and we planned a New Year's Eve party. And I got to do all the logistics of figuring out the security, the ticket prices, the marketing, all that. And I'm like, I don't even know what you call this, but I really like doing this. And turns out it's event management. So I went from there to WZPL radio station and was the promotions director there. And we used to have a thing called Uncle Sam Jam, which was a huge concert on the 4th of July. And got to book all the entertainment for that, and again, love that. Then went to the 500 Festival and did the mini marathon, and from there started my own company. So we do all kinds of events, but our specialty is running events. So we do running events, and we don't do them just here in Indianapolis. We do them all around the country. So we've got Cleveland Marathon coming up in a couple weeks. We produced for the Milwaukee Brewers a half marathon. We've produced in Vegas. We've produced in Little Rock, Georgia, California, Denver. We've been all over the country producing these events. Here locally, we do a series called Run 317. They're Thursday night runs. They're more of a social party type atmosphere than a serious run. We have one tomorrow night, little plug for that. And Keep Indianapolis Beautiful. Every event we do, we have a charity partner. Keep Indianapolis Beautiful is our charity partner tomorrow night, and they are hurting for volunteers. So if anyone's available tomorrow night for volunteers, we could use volunteers from 6 o'clock to about 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
So-
We have a promotions list for you guys. I'll be sharing that with you later in the meeting. So if you want to sign up for this exact event, we can make that happen.
So love help tomorrow night. But we are always looking for volunteers for event. The best way for you guys to figure out what you really want to do is get to as many events as possible. Volunteer, see what you like, what you don't like. You'll quickly find out. What we do a lot of times is not the most glamorous thing. I think these guys were just talking that they were working this past week at a marathon and started pouring down rain. Guess what? We don't get to go home when it's pouring down rain. We still got to clean it up, and we got to get through everything. I mean, I've been in dumpsters throwing trash. I've had beer spilled all over me that's stale. We've done some disgusting things. So when you pull back the curtain and you see what we really do, it's not so glamorous sometimes, but it is fun. And you actually see what you plan in the boardroom, take it out onto the streets or into an arena, and you get to make it happen. That's where it's so much fun. You see the smiles on people's faces at the finish line or post-race party. You see it on social media, and that's what makes it worth doing what we do. So opportunities, volunteer as much as you possibly can. Take advantage. There's so much in this city to take advantage of. Make sure to do it. We've got the college football playoffs. I'm sure you guys are aware, maybe doing some stuff with that. Do that. We're doing a 5K with that event on January 9th, which is going to be really cool. We're starting inside of the convention center, finishing inside the convention center. So we'll run out. It's going to go by the stadium. It's going to have a lot of neat components that we're still working on, but it's going to be a really fun event, and there'll be plenty of volunteer opportunities for that. Internships. Get as many internships as you can. Get involved. We offer internships. We offer spring interns, fall interns, or you can do a spring, fall combined. And honestly, I know it's a long commitment, but those are the best because you really get to learn the ins and outs of what the company is doing. Usually with an internship, you're just getting really up to speed with things, and all of a sudden, it's already done because it goes so quickly. So internships, we offer those. And I'll leave business cards. You've got my contact information you can send out to these guys. And there's all kinds of internships around the city. Everyone right now, everybody's looking for help at events, and it's just a great way for you guys to learn how it happens in the boardroom to taking it out onto the streets. So again, really important. Any of you about to graduate, we actually have a full-time position open. That one of our gals who's been with us for 2 years, graduated from Central Michigan, did an internship with us. We hired her. She's moving to Nashville. So starting in January, we'll have this full-time position open. And this position is email marketing is, so a big part of it's marketing, but everything, we're a small company, there's 3 of us. We do a little of everything. If it's loading trucks, if it's designing, signage, marketing, anything, we all do it. So it's a great opportunity. So if you know of anybody who's recently graduated that might be looking for a job, that's available. So those are kind of the things we do. We do a lot of fun events. We produce for the Lincoln Park Zoo, so we get to be in the zoo after hours when it's quiet and hang with the animals. The Brewers is awesome. We're on the field at now American Family Field, not Miller Park. So we've done some cool things. But questions you guys have about event management, how to get further along, anything I can answer for you guys? Yes.
For the college football national championship game or whatever, that little 5K thing you're talking about?
Yep.
That sounds really interesting. What do I need to do, like, sign up for it, I guess?
If you'll
Yeah.
send
So,
information on
That's
that.
kind of a unique event because of my status with the internship. I kind of have like the in on that with both Jeff and the CFP. So once they make that volunteer listing available, I'll be able to share that with you guys. That's going to be a really
It should go available next week. We
Okay.
go live with registration next Tuesday with this event. So
Thank you.
it's coming up real soon. So definitely, if it's not with the 5K, there's gonna be lots of other opportunities around the city. And if any of you were around when the Super Bowl was here, this isn't gonna be quite Super Bowl level. The city was electric, and I think we're gonna see the same thing with this event, so. Other questions? Can be on anything event.
I got one for you. If
Yeah.
no one else. So can you just talk a little bit about? I mean, you're the owner of this, this thing, and he's awesome, guys. Like a lot of people know this guy and lean on him for a lot of things. So I mean, could you start to explain like kind of what kind of got you going there with this and how your passions?
Yeah, so at the festival, I concentrated on one event all year long, the mini marathon. And when you're concentrating on one event and it's over, you get a real depression after. I mean, you work so hard and within 48 hours, this thing's just gone. I mean, it's cleaned up, it's done. So I wanted to come up with something that I could do more events spread them out, and decided to create my own company. I literally just started calling everybody I knew in the business and said, hey, I'm out there, I can consult, I can work your event, whatnot. And my first business was the Indianapolis Marathon that you just worked at this past weekend. Joel Sauer was the race director, and got a job with him doing some things, and literally slowly built that up. We had another company too. We did events called Mud Athlons. That was mud, obstacle, and beer. We did that for about 4 years, and they were fantastic. But quickly, that business went downhill as people got tired of doing some of that. So I traveled all over the country, worked for whoever I could. I learned as much as I could. When I took over the mini marathon, I knew nothing about running. So when they hired me, they were hiring a person that knew I'd never run a race in my life. I'd never been to a race in my life. I knew nothing. What I did know is I knew how to produce an event, and any event has the same principles on how you produce it. You just gotta make your checklist. You gotta make sure you know what you're doing on everything. So I went to as many marathons and I talked to as many people as possible, and I learned the ins and outs of it. When I started at the mini, there was no pasta dinner, there was no post-race party, there was no expo, there was a packet pickup, and learned from all the races around the country and brought that all back and grew the mini marathon from 19,000 to 35,000. And that's kind of any event I feel like I can produce. I may not know it, but I can go learn it. There's a thing out there called pickleball right now, and it's this hot thing for older people to be playing. I think we should start pickleball tournaments. I don't know anything about pickleball. I played it for the first time the other day. I'm like, okay, this isn't that hard. I can figure out how to put it on it.
I try to see it a lot in local parks and everything like that.
It's happening everywhere, so why not put on a pickleball tournament? So, I hope that kind of answers
Absolutely.
your question. But learn as much as you can, talk to as many people as you can. Feel free to call me, ask questions, come up, spend a day with us, see what we do. And people say, well, what's a typical day? There are no typical days in our business. So I started off today with a plan of I was doing this. Client called me and said, hey, our moving company, I can't get a hold of them. The event's in 2 weeks in Columbus, Ohio. I can't get a hold of them. We need a mover. I'm like, okay. So I start calling movers in Columbus, Ohio. Guess what? 2 weeks out, movers are all booked. So now we're going to plan B. what's that? So now I'm calling rental companies to try and get a truck, trying to figure out how we're gonna start moving all this stuff. You never know what's gonna hit you in event management, but as long as you're planned and have backup plans, then you'll be okay. But that's when the fun comes. When an event goes too smooth, it sounds weird, but that's not really that fun. You want something to pop up so you can put out that fire and get the adrenaline from it. So it's kind of an adrenaline junkie being an event person, so.
Adding on to that too, I mean, with the CFP and the host committee, you kind of see people talk about that, how you work so hard for a long period of time and the event is just done like that.
Yeah.
So in between those events, how much time do you think you take for you? I mean, is there like a time to relax, or do you feel like you just go right into the next one?
People ask, is this a full-time job? Yeah, it's a full-time job. We produce about 20 events a year. Our off-season, planning season, is busier than event season because there's so much to get done. But do we take time off? Absolutely, because you gotta have a good balance. Now, when I'm on vacation, I'm usually working part of the time just to make sure but I'm the owner of the company, I'm not an employee, so I've gotta make sure everything is going. But yeah, I try and take plenty of vacations. So, and our company's in a place I can do that kind of stuff, so that's good. Other questions? Yeah?
How long do you like reflect on a event after you've done it?
Not long enough usually. What we do right after the event, we do after action reports. So whoever works the event, we send out to our crew an after action report. We collect all those. We survey every time our participants. We get that. We'll sit down, go through the after action report, go through the survey, make our notes, and then that's it because we're producing so many. If back when we were doing the mini, it gave us lots of time to take our time, really do that. You know, you gotta follow up with emails thanking everybody for, you know, if they helped you with parking, whatever they did, all your vendors, make sure if you're on city streets that, like Mass Ave, we closed down Mass Ave at the 800 block. First time we did that, they were so pissed at us and I just got berated in a meeting. So after that, I went and I met with every person on that block personally, told them what can we do to make this better, and now we got a great relationship with them. So the more time you can spend on it, the better it's gonna be for the next event. But sometimes when you're producing so many, you don't get the time you should get to do that. But that's really important. And we find events, we do more of that, the better the event is. So survey, we're constantly surveying our participants, finding out what they like, what they don't like about our events. So, lots of that. What else? Anything? Yeah?
So, you said you do events like all over the country, right?
Yeah.
And do you have, I'm assuming that you have to go to all of these places?
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess my question is like, how does that like figure into your personal life? Because I know something that I kind of get afraid of, especially working in this industry, is that you kind of have to go where a job is.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really set down for any certain period of time because you might have to move soon. So like, how do you find that, like, or how do you deal with that in like your personal life and your business, like moving you around so much?
So when we were starting and really getting things going, we did an event in Atlanta. We did 2 events in Atlanta. So I was flying to Atlanta at least once a week. I'd fly down first thing in the morning and take the 6 o'clock flight, and I'd take the 7 o'clock flight back. Had 3 little kids. It wasn't easy. Wasn't easy at all. And there was times I'm like, this is too much, but made it work. But you're gonna have to make your own decision on what works for you and what doesn't. At this point in time in my life, I don't want to travel as much as I was traveling. Before it was really glamorous and fun to be doing all that. I'd rather do more events in Indianapolis and less travel, if we can. And now any travel we do for the most part is a 4 or 5 hour drive. Less I have to be on an airplane traveling, the better. So it's everybody's personal, what they feel comfortable with. But I can tell you, it got a lot because we were doing Atlanta, Little Rock, and we were just flying back and forth all the time down there. So I wouldn't do that again at my age. Yeah.
What's your favorite event that you got to work so far?
There's been a lot of fun ones. Trying to think. We produced a half marathon for Mustang for Ford out at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And that was pretty cool because we were literally on the Motor Speedway. Being in Brewers in the stadium there is fun. We produced an event for Summerfest in Milwaukee, largest music festival in the world. And that was fun because we were behind stage all the time and got to see a lot of things that, so I don't think I have a particular favorite. There's just a lot that have really unique aspects. You get to do things that regular people just don't get to experience. So this college football one's gonna be a lot of fun, so. Anybody, any other questions? Again, tomorrow night, if anyone's available, would love your help tomorrow night. If not, we'll have other events coming up. We'll have internships, and then we do have that one full-time position. So I really appreciate it. Best of luck, guys. Just enjoy it. Find out what events you like, if it's running, if it's working for a pro team, if it's whatnot. And I worked for a minor league team right out of college. It's a grind. It's a grind, especially if you're in baseball. It's a long season, so just be prepared for the hard work, and the pay in this industry isn't that great. So you got to be passionate about it and really, really enjoy it. So I appreciate you guys giving me time to come in and speak to you, and best of luck.
Thank you,
Yeah, we'll see you around on some Zooms here.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. Okay. Hi.
Thanks for coming
Nice
out.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
All right, that was pretty cool. What did you guys think about that? Yeah. Cool. Cool story, bro. Okay. First of all, you guys were at this event right here. You know what happened. Okay, first of all, we show up at 5:30 a.m. We're parking cars, we're waving flags. They put us in the back of a truck. Yes, they put us in the back of a movie
Like we were
truck.
doing like a silly photo.
They brought us over to, what was it, like a water station. We started handing out waters. Then we get in the back of another truck and we moved to the event. We got some food finally. It's like we've been up since 5:30. And then Joey was there. Who originally threw that? Yeah. All these people. Look at that. So, for those of you who weren't, this is kind of the story, you know. Noah here, classic pose. So yeah, but first of all, I wanted to say thank you because it started pouring down rain. You guys really, trooped it out. No complaints, absolutely none. And we got so many compliments. I mean, we were showered with compliments there at the event, and afterwards I got emails. Specifically, I got an email that said that they're going to give our club a donation for our volunteer, but they said that after what happened, they're actually going to increase that donation. So
More money.
yeah.
Let's go.
So that's freaking great. And like honestly, guys, I mean, I was like a high school athlete, and I had pride in certain things, and kind of coming into college and finding my place and figuring out the things that make me happy and proud. That's kind of a journey that a lot of us have had to make. And truly, for the first time, like at this event, I have never felt so proud to be a part of something, and that should be inspiration for all of us to kind of really take this club to the next level. Because we should be proud of like what we've done and what where we're going, and kind of where we came from, especially with this club surviving a pandemic. I mean, that's not easy. And look how many people are in this room. Like, that is a very good thing. And we can only get better from here. And yes, Beyond Monumental said specifically to pass along the message to you guys how grateful they really were and how hard of workers workers you guys were and the way you carried yourself. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
They definitely appreciate you being able to just step up and not complain about it at all. That plays a huge factor in us building our reputation because we just do it. That's the best thing that we can do, and we need to keep doing that.
And so there's kind of two things with this club. One is events like this is good for us as a whole. So if you're a part of this and you kind of build that brand, that's one thing. But then secondly, like personally for you guys, when you're out there in the pouring rain, moving tables in the mud, you know, people are gonna see that, and you never know who's watching you. I mean, especially if you're consistently doing those things, you're gonna run into somebody, and it's gonna lead you to a new position. And I mean, frankly, like, it's happened to me. Like, it really has. Like, my freshman year, I volunteered a lot, and I met people, and today I have positions at certain places because of the people that I met along the way. And so,
Networking helps, and just being a good worker starts that off on a good foot.
yeah. So good. Also, other things that happened this month, Brendan and Luke doing some promotions for us with Jack, what is it, Jaws? There's like
Jaws,
mascots here. You guys know what my name
Do you think it was never in the capital?
So, yeah, that, obviously tailgate tour, chase,
You must know.
timing on the obstacle course. Another shout out, Joey, Kennedy, Sam, Chloe. Yes, CFP, that was like 2.5 hours away. And so there's 5 of us, right? 5 IUPUI students. Guess how many volunteers total? 9. Which, so there were 9, right? Which means over half.
Over half,
Not that good, but over half drove further than anybody
That
else.
one on Friday was really fun. That was of the 3 I've done so far, that was the funnest.
So it's
Easy.
annoying when.
Yeah.
Yeah, and SMC was there, we were representing, so we're expanding, we're growing, it's awesome, we love it. Yeah, thanks for a good month, see, obviously CFP, promotions, all that good stuff. Already ready to have. Jackathon. You guys have seen the messages, we have started the Jackathon team, so. On March 26th, there's a dance marathon, and so your ticket essentially would be the price for joining our team. It's $25.
It goes towards the club money that we raise, so it's not like you're just paying a fee and it's not going anywhere. Obviously, it's going to get donated and it goes towards our page. So.
And the Riley Health, I mean, they go to a great cause. I don't know if you guys know much about them, but just the research for, you know, I mean, I'm not a medical person, but there's a lot of research that goes in and is very helpful for Riley, and they do a lot of great things with kids who need medical attention. So it's a really good cause, and it's also a really good chance for us to engage on campus. So
It's a lot of
if
fun.
you guys want to sign up for our team, go ahead and scan the code. Come back to it later.
It's a lot of fun, so you'll end up, the dance marathon usually goes from like middle of the day all the way till like 3 a.m. in the morning, so.
Brendan did it his freshman year, right?
Yep. Actually, I've done it as well, for other reasons, but it's a great time just to meet some other people and honestly just kind of get, this sounds weird to say, but different perspective. Like throughout the whole event, they bring in Riley Children's kids to come and talk about their stories, and you know, it is an emotional time, but it kind of realizes or makes you realize, like, you know, there are other things out there that we can help benefit, and this is one of the greatest events that IPUI puts on, and it's a great way for us to kind of expand our club in a new direction as well, just across multiple fields.
Yeah. So there's that. We're gonna kick it over to Brendan. Talk a little bit about the upcoming Indy Monumental.
Well, real quick, I just want to see, how many of you, prior to us talking about it, heard of the Jackathon?
Sorry, I forgot.
Okay, so a lot of people raised their hands for more upperclassmen. For the freshmen, this was something that was super pushed our freshman year. And then last year, it kind of got lost a little bit because with COVID, you can't have, 300 people all clustered together. But it really is like a really good opportunity to like they said, get out and engage, but I also see this as a chance because, you know, sport management for a lot of us, we're competitors. Personally, I see this as a chance to show just how awesome SMC is and raise as much money as we can. There's actually like a meter on our page that shows exactly how much money we've raised, and we can compare that against every other club, fraternity, sorority, group, anything. And I think that we should use that as personal motivation to push that as much as we can.
We're already at a good spot with how many numbers we have as a club, so
Yeah.
it would not take much for us to be up there near the top, and I think we should.
Seriously, and we have one, like, we have the ability to have a large team, because when I met with them, they were like, yeah, you can start to, they're like, how many people do you think you have? And I was like, oh, we might be able to pull like 20 or 25 together, and there's like, oh, that's a pretty good sized team. So
Yeah,
like,
I think
imagine,
that's beat.
I
Yeah,
think
I
maybe
know,
30 to
exactly.
40.
that's
I know
like,
we can.
that's
50
like
should
not
be a
even a
goal.
lot.
50 should be our first goal, and I think we should try to push further than that.
Exactly, so that's what I'm saying, so like to them, like, we gotta, like Brendan was saying, compete, we wanna show up and like surprise them.
And the best part is that we've already checked, and there is no sports that weekend, so there will be nothing else to volunteer for. So
Yeah, March Madness doesn't come to Indy until, I think they're before that, and Big Ten tournament will already be over, so there will be plenty of opportunities. And also just one more thing is that all of us know at IUPUI, there's not a football game to go to every Saturday. There's not these big events that we can go to. So really, besides Regatta, this is probably the biggest campus involvement and engagement event that we have here by far. So yeah, I mean, it's got a ton of involvement and a ton of people will be there. And it's really just for anyone who wants the college experience and it kind of lacks here at IUPUI, this is a good chance to try and get it.
Scan. Alright, maybe now, 10 more seconds.
Would you like email us?
Yeah, I'll send it in the group email, or a little something.
Jack thought?
I'm already on the team, sorry.
Oh, you are? Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay.
I asked if I could join too, they said no, so.
yeah, it sounded like they had to be up for numbers.
They said I could like do something.
We'll see. We'll see.
Come on.
One way to get, dude, this guy.
I was gonna say, you think I'm passing up on?
I was gonna put his name.
Okay, actually, so throughout the dance marathon, they actually teach you like this whole choreography that they do throughout the event. So like as you're going throughout the night, you're learning a new portion of the dance until the final dance, and we all do it as a whole room. So it's actually kind of cool to see that as well. I thought that was amazing actually.
Well, and a lot of people will get shied away by the, how, is it 15 hours? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's a while, but honestly, like, the reason you're there makes it
Yeah,
all
well,
worth it.
yeah, I mean, who's better fit for that than sport management?
Than us.
We get up at 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
till 3 a.m.
Also, for all you young men in the back,
Why do you look right at us?
the girl who asked to sign up for this, we had a phone call and we were talking a little bit, and she said she was like saying that, yeah, there's usually a lot of girls at this event, and we know that, you know, sports management is predominantly male, so if you guys want, ladies, I know,
It's a
sorry.
big dance party.
But I was just saying that,
Party, but hey.
you know, there's an incentive for all you young guys. Now, ladies in the room, there are reasons for you to go, because it's not gonna be a bunch of guys
Yes.
dominating the dance floor, right?
But I'm just saying that.
It makes sense. Does it not? Does it not make sense? No.
Nope. No, and that's the other thing, is that your fee is not the only thing that raises money. You can get other people to donate money too, so it's all up to you. The fee is the only thing that you have to do if you want to be a part of the team. But you can set a goal for yourself to raise as much money as you can, and all of it goes directly towards the Riley Children's Hospital.
Yeah,
I
and
say go towards the
when you sign up, sorry.
Nope.
When you sign up, like you said, it'll give you a link to ask people to join the team and ask people to donate. So there's like 2 different ways. And it's super easy. Community engagement.
And if you have any more questions throughout the time about Jaggerthon, just reach out to us. We can get more information and tell you what we know more along the way.
Yeah.
already on there.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
Alright, so the Beyond Monumental Marathon. For all those of you who participated in the mini marathon, it's, as far as what you'll be doing, our sport management club shifts directly are mostly setting up and taking down the course. There are Friday night shifts starting at 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock, I believe. And then Saturday morning at 5:30 a.m.
Something like, yeah.
It's early in the morning. A lot of you, depending on if any of you have Dr. Meary or Dr. Sherman's intro class, you will have to do a volunteer experience with this. But you can use the Sport Management Club link, at least for Dr. Sherman's. I don't know if Dr. Meary will let you do it. But this is one event that a lot of us, at least the juniors and seniors in here, participated in our freshman year.
Full day.
It was a full day. And I'll be honest, like you guys were talking about, you know, all the crazy stuff that happened when you were working the mini marathon. It was raining, it was muddy. But I've always thought that those rougher experiences are what really bring you together. Like, you know, as an athlete, whenever, you know, you have practice, it was never the practices that went perfectly well. That it's kind of like what Jeff was saying. You kind of want that situation to come up where you're like, oh, how do we handle this? And so yeah, I mean, you know, you have practice. It's the day that coach is yelling at you and making you run the whole time, that as a group you get closer together.
And those are the moments that you get noticed, right? Like that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a chance to kind of prove yourself. Well, if something's in your way, that's the perfect way to prove that you're capable.
Yeah, when all hits the fan, who's going to step up? But so for a lot of you, this is a required volunteer experience, but this is another volunteer experience that will help fund the club too.
Absolutely.
Correct? Is this another $500
If we need to
donation?
Yeah, they're considering increasing that now that we've done so well. So we will need, I'm meeting with them this week and we're gonna discuss like the actual number that they are looking for. But this is one of those requirements that Sherman is gonna have for his class. And one of the reasons he does that is to help our club because we need a certain amount so that we can reach our goals and donation.
Yeah, so we can probably post the direct, is the link out yet for the sport management club?
Not yet. So
Okay.
when I meet with them this week, and I don't think it's gonna be as much of a link as it is kind of like what we did last time. I'll put you guys into a group meet, and we'll formulate a plan, and we'll kind of get a group signed up. That's usually how they operate, just because they need so many volunteers. It's easier for them to look at SMC and say, hey, can you get us 25, instead of trying to get 25 separate individuals to sign up. So just hang tight, and we'll get you the info as soon as we can.
Yeah, and then I'll be there all day Friday. I'm doing a different volunteer thing during the day. I'll be there for the whole shift at night, and I'll probably be there Saturday morning too.
Yeah.
So
Same here. So we'll be there, and we'll be there.
we'll be there with you guys the whole time, boots on the ground. But it should. I remember I had a great time. I was going to put the picture of me, you, and Wally on this. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So me and Willie were actually side by side the first time that we did this. You should get a long sleeve shirt for it, and then you guys are working outdoors, so I believe you get the beanies as well. But yeah, it's another fun volunteer experience, and get some nice stuff from it. It's fun. So
Honestly, sometimes those early mornings are fun. Cheyenne will tell you that when we were directing traffic at 5:30 a.m.
You had too much energy.
More exciting.
It was ready to go as always.
that was the first time that you stood out to me. Was when we did the Pacers 5K.
Oh.
And it was pouring down rain, and we were handing out water, and Willie's going, get your water over here. And everyone's looking at him like he's crazy.
But if you have fun with it, it makes
Oh, yeah.
life happy.
Lily's always brought the energy. So. Now, you got anything else?
Yeah, there's more. Keep going. Like quickly, college football playoff, tailgate tours, there's 2 more. And then after that, they're going to do some for sectionals and up into the state finals. So it's not over. Brendan, can you send the link to them right now?
Yep.
He's gonna, it's gonna be in the group media, just resend it to you guys. It's the same Sign Up Genius link that you've seen before for CFP, but he's gonna put it fresh into your feed. After you send that link, would you send the promotion schedule from CFP?
You only sent it to them.
Okay, well, I will send the promotion schedule after the meeting. My phone is currently going YouTube Live.
I think I can pull it up. I'll try. I think.
What's ISC sending me? Because ISC sending me a whole new link that opens up on the 11th. They've sent me another link.
That might be for the postseason football then, would it?
So,
But once
Yeah,
you sign up
it
with
is.
them, you get attached to their volunteer link. So yeah, we have our own stuff, but you'll also be seeing their stuff as well.
I didn't know what the difference was. I didn't know
Yeah.
it was the same thing or different.
it's my understanding that a lot of those links are gonna become available to you guys later. They're not there yet. So you said you went to that portal, it's not there?
Yeah, they
Well,
said
that's-
it's opening up on the 11th.
Yeah, so when that does, go check it out. That's ISC Rosterify, the Rosterify account for Indiana Sports Corp. If you do not have a Rosterify account for Indiana Sports Corp, I would suggest getting one. That's kind of where you sign up through them, and that's gonna be the big time events.
Literally anything in the city is run through them, pretty
Yeah,
much, like,
they're huge.
let's be honest.
Okay, any questions? Any questions on that?
No, you did 20 years.
CFP, tailgate tours, the Colts touch downtown. The Colts touch downtown and other events are on that promotion schedule. So when I send you the promotion schedule, please go look at that. That's also where this 317 event is that Jeff was talking about. It's on the promotion schedule. So that's,
You have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, Chase. Got a question? For the viewing stuff, that's this weekend, or is it just like, here's something, it's from Wally.
did Wally send it to you?
No, I saw it on the Google, but I just put my name in, so I put it in today.
Yeah, I mean, if that's what if you looked at it today and there's open spots, yeah, I haven't seen it in my Yep, name and email. And guys, make sure that when you put your name on this promotion schedule that you do put your email, because it's the only way they can contact you. I had Wally come to me and say that some people had signed up and didn't even put their email on, so just make sure, this was in the past, this is a while back, so it's not you. But just in the future, make sure that you put your email and check your email too.
I know for the one that's doing that, there's a bunch of stuff. For
Really?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
I think it's.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm actually gonna be at that one with CFP, so.
There's still 5 spots.
Oh my gosh, okay, we need this, speed this up.
Yep, we're good. All right, so we're doing a networking event. This is something we haven't done before, but I am personally excited for it because I think it's,
This is probably the most important thing we'll talk about today.
yeah, so we're gonna be hosting an October, networking event on October 27th from 6:30 to 8. I just turned in the form just the other day to get it approved for down in the basement lobby with the TV lounge there and the game room, so we will have both spaces. I did that for a specific reason. The floor, we're gonna keep it very open for all of you guys to be able to make as many connections as possible because we're inviting professionals from the industry to come and talk to you guys and make those networking opportunities. So we want to leave it open so that way there's a flow to it. And the best part about it is that we'll have questions ready. We're planning on having questions there at the table, just like on a little note card. So if you ever get stuck to not, like if you can't come up with a question, you'll have something there to reference. Maybe it'll spark up an interest. But we'll be using the game room as well just to offer a different dynamic. So, let's say, kind of done talking, you want to go do something real quick, or you have a break, go play some games, or invite the professionals. I'm sure they would enjoy a little time off from their day and get to know you guys as well. So when we get these professionals coming in, we will set up a list to send out just like a couple of days before the event actually happens, so that way you guys can look up their LinkedIn accounts and maybe be able to recognize them when you first walk in, maybe know their name and some of their history that they've worked over their career. That is also a great source to come up with some questions, just like this. What are some characteristics of someone successful in your job? That's one of the questions I always ask, because if you're applying for the job, I want to know what they're looking for and what I need to be making sure I'm doing, so I can do my job as the best of my ability and stand out. And then another one is, what skill do you think has benefited the most in your career? You know, everyone's got their little itch, you know, that makes you stand out, so it's asking them, okay, what's your perspective on it? We'll be coming up with more questions as well, but just something to kind of be mindful in preparation for this event. This event should be a great opportunity for everyone, so do the work ahead of time so that way you're not stuck with an awkward silence, face-to-face situation. That's not a good thing. But have fun with it. It should be an easy going event. We'll be having water bottles and cookies there, so it won't be, you know, a dinner thing, but it'll be a light.
How many of you guys have been to a networking event before? Like a social net? Me and David did. Yeah? So, you know, how it works is you come in, grab water, grab your cookies, you know, you go social. You literally, it's a social. Like, you have to insert yourself into conversation with other people. And it's a really good practice, and it's great. So, like, that's what these conversations starters are for, so that you can know what to say and have some help if you don't.
I would say the first thing you can do is just ask more about their background right off the bat. And you two, I mean, it's going to be small talk the first few bits, but now you can start getting into some deeper questions and learn some more. And I guarantee they'll be sharing you opportunities that are coming down the road for their company or team or whatever it is.
And we're going to be inviting 30 plus.
Yeah, we have a max of 74 people, and we, I don't know what we're up to live.
We're
now.
talking good.
Well,
I mean, we're talking big names like Chris Payne, college football playoff senior director of operations. Sarah Meyer, director of marketing for the Indiana Sports Corporation.
We know we can get some good names in here, so.
We know some people that will gladly come, and we have to represent well. So make sure you look nice. Make sure you carry yourself well. And it's all about that.
I would say this event would probably be best fit for, like, you know, business dress, maybe not a jacket, you know, unbuttoned, like no tie or anything, but obviously if you want to wear a tie you can, but just keep in mind that that's kind of the setting you want to present yourself, because you're selling yourself in this
Dress to
situation as
impress,
well.
guys.
Yep.
Just think about how you want to.
And they're going to be coming from work anyway, so.
Okay, that's the end. Recap right here. If you want to snap a pic, this is what you want. This is the uptime. These are everything we talked about. Networking, November meetings, hopefully on the 3rd and 4th. That's the plan. Could change. Recently talked to our advisor, who we don't see a lot of. His name is Dr. Lee, but he.
Your advisor is Dr. Lee.
Yeah. Yes. No, we're on Instagram. We are on YouTube Live. Right now, we are on. And I talked to him today, and so we're gonna move some of the meetings around to like have some maybe around like during the day, not always in the evenings. How do you guys like? What do you guys think about that?
Do you guys like the evenings?
I mean, I'll run class.
Make it easier.
I've been there for 3 hours.
Very true.
I mean, I want to make sure we're giving some variety. I mean, obviously, like the meeting tomorrow is the same exact meeting as this, by the way. So we always hold 2 Wednesday, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? So, and last but not least,
Alright, I'm not gonna talk for long. Just want to say thank you all for coming. This is a great turnout. And keep it up. When people see us volunteering, they notice. Someone said to Willie, that's the best volunteer group they've seen in how many years? 5 years.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's great news.
And then, you know, with Jeff coming in, if we volunteer with him, he has so many connections. He'll definitely pass on what we do to all of them. So keep it up. We're killing it.
wise words from Luke. Thank you.
We're going to stick it around if you have any questions or anything. Talk to us.
Absolutely. We'll get things out.
We're gonna be ending every meeting like that from now on.
Yeah.
Wise words from Luke Schuster.
Maybe I'll throw a quote in next time.
Ooh, that would be good.
We'll see.
Everyone
No.
Thanks for stopping by. I don't even know how to end this thing. Yo, how do I? We're on live.
When do we get our shirts?
Oh yeah, hey, I have t-shirts. Stick around for a t-shirt, please. Ah.